Hello, everyone. Welcome to Be Sisters. This is Devika Bare, and I have my sister.
Radhika Bade here.
So I know for most of us, probably Halloween is going to end up at home quarantine. But why don't we just attempt this look? Maybe just for the Instagram likes, or just at home to look at yourself looking really goth pretty.
But also maybe to enjoy the thrill of it.
So here is my face, just trying to figure out the camera.
She's pretty comfortable in front of the camera, like she's smiling.
Yes.
So, as you can see here, I've been using playing cards as my prosthetic.
Oh, so by the way, the name of this look we've just randomly come up is called the dethroned queen. So there are a couple of other looks that people have done according with these cards. So we will just link the inspiration to this video, but we chose queen because that's the theme of the video. We wanted a queen who was dethroned by the impact of the cards just blowing everywhere, and everybody in her kingdom died, and she lived with some queen cards in her face.
And also, you can see who is the queen over here.
Absolutely, it's me. Um, and this is me trying to control my laughing. But anyway, on to the technical terms. First, we are just getting the markings where we want the cards to be, and we're figuring out the most comfortable place that is probably on my face. So she's just used a black marker and marked.
Over here, as you can see, I am using some molding wax, which I had brought from Cryolan City. I am just using a normal painting knife spatula to put on the wax securely on her forehead. So it stays, the card stays very nice in place.
Yeah, and I just probably ate something because I like to eat always. I don't know much of the technicalities of these SFX makeup. I was just sitting there. But for my what I know is this wax is basically used for scar tissue. It's very difficult to create something really big with the wax. Wax is very good for like probably a stick-on wound. You can get multiple brands when you want to buy wax online, starting from I think 500 to really expensive ones. But this one was like my sister said from Cryolan.
I had got it for 400 rupees from Cryolan
Yes.
City.
You can find Cryolan online as well as stores nearby.
If you don't have scar wax, you can always use some liquid latex
Yes.
to put on the card in place.
Yes. All right. So right now what we're trying to do is apart from ignore the ugly laughing, but yes, what she is trying to do here is try to get the card on with the wax. So first what she's doing is getting the wax on the front side, getting it nice and sturdy, and then using some more wax on the edges and on the back side of it so it's really concrete and stays fit. And
And as you can see, my sister is really enjoying it.
yes, I love just sitting and getting things done. Yes,
And
pretty much.
entertaining me while doing
Yes,
the thing that I'm doing.
yes, absolutely. Well, look at those eyes. I mean, they're massive. They are huge. Like, I was watching the video and I'm like, oh my god, girl, you have the biggest eyes I have seen. But yeah. And this is just the discussion. If you really don't enjoy this discussion, you can move probably like 10 to 20 seconds forward. But here she's trying to put the wax on, and this is going to be absolutely useless in the next 5 seconds because we realize that's not the most comfortable place because I won't be able to tilt my head and sit like that for too long. Am
And
I
that
right?
is what we were discussing the
Yes.
entire time.
Yes. I mean, it was my suggestion though.
Yes, it was yours. And there I'm trying to get the wax and the card on her collarbone, like my sister said, in place.
Yes, and she really pierced through it. Yeah. And well, both of the cards are queens.
Again, a technicality question. If it's very hard for you to put the wax on securely on your face or on your neck, you can use a little bit of oil just to get the stickiness out, which is caused because of the wax. So it will help you, but don't be sure you don't use a lot of oil, so it won't work.
Yes. And in case you're wondering who I'm talking to, where I'm staring at, or why I'm laughing so weird, is because my father was sitting in front of us the whole time and he was just amused by what we were doing. And so it was so hilarious.
He
But
entertained us through the entire
yes,
process.
exactly. And there it is me just zoning out and thinking about all the possible good things and good decisions I would have made in my life. But I end up sitting here in front of my sister, getting things on my face.
Well, I do need a model and I have one at home, so why not ask
Yep.
her?
be a model somewhere. By the way, the mandala behind is painted by my sister, just to make the ugly walls a little more prettier.
As you can see, I am putting some foundation on the wax.
So Radhika, so I think we've used a darker foundation here to sort of
Yes.
conceal the wax below, because
It's
yeah.
it's always better to use a darker shade foundation because as you're creating wounds, the wound is supposed to be in a much more darker shade. So for the base, if you use a lighter foundation, it would be very difficult for you to get the dark shade underneath. So you need to show the depth of the wound. So I prefer using a darker shade foundation.
Woo! There we go with the technicalities. Also, I have a question now. Can we use something homemade if we want to do something like that and we do not have a wax? And let's say the makeup is not to be held for too long, it should just look pretty and it's on a flat surface. So, can we use something else?
Yes, you can. It's a very common item that you have in everybody's household. You can use all-purpose flour with a little bit of water, and once you make a dough out of it, you can use that as your scar wax. You can use that to create any type of a wound.
Okay, and right now what we are doing here is getting some black eyeshadow and basically going and putting it where the wound incision is, because when the incision goes in, that's where the depth is created and that's where it's darkest. And we had a very cute moment over there. And there you could just see a highlight of my sister's face of labor.
A very big key point in doing an FX makeup is that you show the depth of the wound because it should look real. So make sure you get those good dark eyeshadows in place.
Right. What are we doing now?
We are using some paint, some red paint, in fact, to create a blood illusion around the card. I don't prefer using blood directly on your face
Okay.
before testing it. So I'm just using some of it on the wax itself, using
Yeah.
my hands and fingers to dab it around and trying to make it look more messy.
Because wounds are messy, just like my life. Well, talk about really neurotic jokes.
And there my sister is guiding me through the entire process and what
yes,
to do.
and I can't stop staring in my eyes because how massive they're literally like two golf balls. Yeah, and right now what we're trying to do is just the basic classic contouring trick, but we're using a way darker shade. So she started with a dark brown, and I think she's going on top of with like a jet black or gray. You can use a jet black, but I think she's used a gray for a really ugly contour. Now you can really skip this step if you want to keep a pretty face and really wounded head, because Halloween is to look pretty. Oh, so bright. Anyway, awkwardness about, it's your choice. If you want to look the ugly goth, it's not goth really, the ugly dethroned queen or the pretty dethroned queen. And what have you done to my eyes? Can you please explain?
I have added a little bit of black eyeshadow to show the depth in the eyes. Because as she said, even if the queen is ugly or beautiful, she's still a queen.
Oh,
So you can't argue with that.
throw those words there. Well, first of all, my eyes are already really deep set, so like adding that black shadow just accentuates the depth that is already deep. So what could be deeper than deep?
And again, what's that red thing?
Yes, so basically that is blood. That is literally coagulated fake blood, which comes in these bottles. Now this is also from Cryolin, I suppose. And so it basically comes in a jelly form, and there's like coagulated blood chunks in there. So you've got to just pick them out and throw them, and they actually look like blood and they feel like blood. But it smells like strawberries, raspberries. It smells really nice. It's really weird to think of it. And by the way, I have blood phobia. So if I smell blood for too long, I tend to feel giddy. So, but this one pretty well
I mean, who doesn't like raspberries and strawberries?
in blood. Right. So we're just adding a small mini little scar on the cheek just to add the extra oomph factor because, well, humans are never satisfied, are they?
Ignore my face, please.
What if I talk like a queen? Let me talk like a dethroned queen after this.
So you all are going to hear my sister talk like a dethroned queen.
Well,
for
yes. The video
the
is almost
remaining-
getting over.
So for that 1 minute, you have to bear with me. So here she goes.
Yes, so now we're going to, yes, so now this is the fresh wound that we're trying to sort of, again, do the same thing on. We have not put a lot of time, invested a lot of time on these wounds and turning them purple and maroon because we just wanted a simple cut and incision. Um, but we have still kept it as ugly as we could probably, and we've just added that color. I'm probably disgusted about something. Oh yeah, so we're just adding some blood splashes and some bloody hands, and we've just made the, the extended smile. And here is a pretty montage, but it the look turned out pretty good. It's really nice, it's very simple, it's very handy, it's nothing too complex. It was the most simplest thing you can do in probably like 15 or 20 minutes. And if you want to feel really more artistic, then you can obviously go onto the wood and add more colors, more purples, more yellows, more reds. We'll probably make a more in-depth one, but here is to a good start.